Hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Guess I should turn my camera on here.
That would help. I don't remember. So, like, when I turn my camera on, is it... Oh, okay. Do I normally have mine on? I don't know. Okay, well... Oh, I gotta probably... Oh, no, you corrected the date, apparently. Somebody. Or no,
I don't know
guess
why.
I did that.
I have my Xbox on right now on the side here. I'm just like looking at my Xbox screen. It's pretty.
I would be too if it was if I just got a new one. Yeah. It's neat. I didn't even know. I didn't even think to look at it.
Yeah, it was right behind you. I mean, it's not really that big anymore. It's just looks like a block, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, it is actually cool. The best part about it is all the like magnetic on the inside, the stuff they show off about that, how it all just attaches that way. Oh, hey Herschel, what's up?
And the cooling system, how it's like a cyclone cooling system, which is pretty neat.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I hear.
I just need to get a 4K monitor now because the one I'm rocking right now is not
cutting it.
I mean, it's HD, but not full, like the full HD you could get to.
Full HD, which would be
full on
8K. But that's not.
Well,
really
I can only get to 4K, I guess.
Oh,
right,
right, on the Xbox. Yeah, duh.
No,
I hear that Elden Ring runs really well on there.
I'm not playing it. Nope.
You're probably right. You're probably correct. I mean, yeah, like, man, I don't think I've ever had such a love-hate relationship with a game in my entire life.
I think Zelda is like, or no, I don't know.
It is.
I would say Zelda and WoW are like the cutoff point to where an RPG gets.
Yeah, fair.
Because that Elden Ring sounds fun, but I can't do it. Nope.
I hear you. All right. Well, I suppose we can get started right away.
Yeah, did you put the document up?
Did I put it up? I suppose I could post it. Do you have a link in your Google Drive or something?
Yeah, I have. I'm shared in your Google Drive.
Oh, are you able to get in there?
Mm-hmm. I don't see it. So.
Oh, there's a folder you have access to, though, right?
Yeah.
Are you still not seeing it?
Hold on. Oh, that's episode 2. Where the hell? Go to Drive. Share it with me. Oh, there it is. I see it.
Good. All right. Then let us start the show.
Yeah, let's
crank
do
the
it.
volume up again. Here we go. Sorry, just fair warning.
Oh boy,
that's probably better because it's not my voice. That would be the thing that breaks your eardrums. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome back to Disnerds Plus, show where we talk about your favorite nerdy shows on Disney Plus. This is episode number 3. We're talking about the 3rd episode of Moon Knight, The Friendly Type. It's Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. I'm Shane.
I'm Mike.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah.
It's
Wednesday. It was another day of Moon Knight. It's great.
It was another day, night, moon, night.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Yes, indeed. It was perfectly typed, says Herschel. Yeah, we talked about another episode, but before we get into it, we are gonna once again previously on Moon Knight. I have to say that every time. So last episode we had a thing where there was he goes to the cameras. The cameras don't see him getting beat up by a jackal. He loses his job, gets referred to some doctors, runs into Layla for the first time, ends up being taken in by the authorities, and of course, we wind up getting an inside look at Arthur's, I don't know if it's hideout or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's it's like a sanctuary. Let's just call it
sanctuary. Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where a bunch of antics ensue. A fight. They end up getting chased off. Get thrown away, chased away by another jackal. And yeah, there's more fighting. There's more. Wait, was that the first? That's the first time we get the Mr. Knight, right?
Mr. Knight, yes. He does the superhero landing and falls on his side.
We get a Mr. Knight. We get to see Layla try to attack, or does successfully attack a jackal that she can't even see herself. We get Moon Knight proper and an impaled jackal by the end of it all. And then once the scarab was lost, you realized Arthur Harrow had the scarab at that point. Or I'm sorry. Once again, this is the part I screwed up on last time, right? Took it from someone that did pick it up.
He took it from someone, then that guy got his soul sucked out of him.
Yes.
And then Layla saw that and took off on her scooter, I want to say.
Sure.
Moped.
What's that other one? What's that other brand? Vespa? I don't know.
Yeah, Vespa.
And then we're whisked away to Egypt, which we're about to find out is, well, I guess if it was the pyramids, I suppose we already knew it was going to be Cairo, but
yeah, I mean, there's not many places in the world that have pyramids.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's interesting though. It's always along the equator, like everything in Central America too. It's kind of an interesting. I don't know if it's a coincidence or what that's about, but yes, those are different kinds of pyramids, though, to be sure. So this particular episode, we start off with Layla. We see a blurred out version of Layla. Her face is blurred out.
Blurred out version.
Yeah.
She's a variant in the blurred version, in the blurred universe.
Yeah. Exactly. She winds up focusing in one of these videos we watched that's supposedly kind of mimicking the experience that Steven's having a little bit with the waking up and possibly. But there we see her taking a pic, talking to someone, getting her pictures taken, and immediately realize that there's some sort of fake ID, fake passport specifically being made here by the woman she's speaking with. And there's all sorts of things they're talking about here. They're talking about her father. And at first, I thought this was her mother specifically, but I guess they don't really say that. We know it's a family member.
Don't. I think it's a family member or a family friend. I don't really know if it's a family
Okay, yeah,
member.
we don't even know that, yeah. And she talks about how her father was into some stuff, I guess.
Archaeology.
Right. But it was the shady side of it? Wasn't that the deal?
Well, it sounded like kinda, but it also sounded like, I don't know if her father was, but I know Layla was more about saving the antiques and bringing them back to their home.
Sure. I kind of got the impression with this whole with the fake ID thing and everything. I kind of something seemed shadier about Layla in this particular scene because of that. But I don't. I mean, the fact that she's using so the full name put on this passport is Layla Abdallah El Fawli. I'm gonna say is how that's
I don't think
pronounced.
that's real. I don't
Right.
think that's a real name.
I don't know if it's the first. Hey, AP Dubs, what's up? It's yeah, he's definitely not first. The thing is, if her real name's Layla, I don't think she would use Layla on a fake passport, right? That's the thing I'm most confused about.
Yeah, well, it's a hard one. Yeah, could be a different or an alias name. Oh,
We'll find out
let's see.
more. I'm sure.
She has some sketchy friends, that's for sure.
Yes. So, yeah, it seems to be. So we get sent away. We get sent back now to. We're in the desert. We see a bunch of people, camels, some vehicles, Jeep like or what do they call Land Rover or something like that. And Harrow specifically using the Scarab in the same way we've seen it so many times now, being hovered off of whatever base it came from. And they are at supposedly Amit's tomb at this point, because that's what they're after. And that I didn't necessarily piece together that they would. Well, first off, that's what they're doing, but they're also that they'd get there that quickly or get there before Mark does.
Well, I mean, it's a 6-part series, so
yeah,
they only got so much time. But
yeah,
it makes
true.
sense that they kind of speed that up because if Harrow already had the Scarab, I wouldn't. If I was Harrow, I wouldn't waste time. Be like, all right, let's go.
Yep.
Let's get this going now.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So then we're transported to a rooftop once again, as we had left off. Mark, or one of the last scenes we got to see, or I guess it was Moon Knight specifically jumping from rooftop to rooftop. In this case, it's just Mark. Spectre is jumping from rooftops in Cairo, and we see he catches up with 3 guys, and we see them kill someone with the knife. I think they all probably have knives here. Yeah, I guess they're like a knife gang or something.
I think it was like someone that knew, maybe like an informant or something for Mark. I don't know.
And Mark's immediately just went, "Oh, you killed him!" Like he's. I feel like if this were Steven, he would be incredibly sad and in the case of Mark, he's just kind of he's more used to this kind of thing. But a fight,
for sure.
A brawl breaks out between the 4 of them, and 3 against 1, and he literally brings a fist to a knife fight here in this particular scene, because that's all he's fighting with here. He's not shooting anyone in this scene.
He did all right.
Yeah, he definitely did all right. And we see at one point one of the knives has Steven talking to him in it, like anything reflective. We get Steven, of course.
Yep.
And he's telling nope. He's like, don't do it. He's he does not want him to kill anyone here. And
I mean, they got to share a body, so I get it. Yes. I wouldn't want to be part of murderers either if I had to share my same body and face with another personality.
Yep. We then get another blackout right after that, where he's waking up in a cab, a taxi of some kind in the back. And so this is still Mark at this point, right? Because it's only when they
Yeah, it's still because Mark, remember in the last episode at the end, he's like the one that starts controlling. Like he, for some reason, as he's controlling the body more, he's getting powerful and can keep
right
Steven away.
He's the primary. Yep.
He's the prime personality now.
Right. So he wakes up. He doesn't really know what happened at this point, which is, have we seen? So this was interesting to me because this is the first we see. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, but isn't this the first we actually see Mark blackout? Because wasn't everything up until this point Steven that was having the blackouts?
I believe so. Because first episode was just Steven blacking out.
Mm-hmm. Which took me a second to kind of put
yeah.
together.
I think you may be right. I think it's first time that Mark is actually we've seen him black out.
Right, because we don't, as far as we know, we don't.
Because he doesn't even know what's going on at that point when it wakes up. Like, wait, what?
Right, as far as we're concerned, up until this point, we don't even know if Mark has these same kinds of blackouts. So, I mean, it makes sense in hindsight that this would be the case, but interesting events that occur there. And so they're in a town of some kind here in again, I guess this is all in Cairo, and he notices the three guys that he was in the fight with outside of a place and starts running after them. The cab driver's like, demands pay, of course, and
gives him money.
And he starts pursuing but before he starts chasing, they're like, just leave us alone, man.
Right, yeah, they're scared. They're like, so like something happened. They got in that blackout period. They got beat up or something.
And that also right away, I was like, interesting. They're scared of him. Now they're scared of him. Like, he was doing all right as Mark fighting these guys, but we know something went down.
This new personality, I think, has a pretty dark side to him.
Right.
Like, darker than Mark could get. Like, Mark's got he's got all the mercenary skills, but whatever this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
So
he seems scary.
Pursues the men, and he catches up with one of them, starts asking, I think he takes his knife and holds it to his throat or something, and starts asking the guy where Harrow is, and we see Steven in the mirror in the knife, or no, maybe it was a mirror in this scene. Was it the mirror?
Yeah, it was the mirror. Yeah, it was the mirror this time because he sees him in the mirror and then he gets distracted and then he gets knocked in the head and then punched in the face or something like that, and then he falls to the ground and blacks out again.
Right.
And then we wake up. Then he wakes up. Where does he wake up? On top? Is he on like a rooftop?
Was he on? He was.
Oh.
We're kind of just transported to another location in this, but I think it's just another part of town or something. And
he wakes up and he's stabbing someone, basically.
Yeah, he's
what?
Killing somebody. Wakes up.
He looked
doing
pretty startled.
This, looks around, and I think one of the other guys is dead already, and the third one is kind of a kid who's pretty injured at this point. And we get Khonshu telling him to take him to the ledge to demand the same information. And so he does so, and he's holding him by his scarf wrapped around his neck, which
is the same color as all the other Amit followers. They all wear like this certain shade of red, I think.
Yes.
Red? Yeah.
Red
is red or purple. Something like that.
And we're getting this from, I don't know if you noticed it prior. Another YouTube personality pointed some of these things out as you brought up after we watched it.
Huh.
I don't know if you want to call them out, but is that a specific one you watch a lot or no?
Yeah, it is. They're good.
Nice. Sorry, what is his name? Do you know offhand?
Oh, it's new rock stars.
Okay. What was the one last week, out of curiosity? Just kind of to cite sources here a little bit. Do you remember offhand what we watched last time? Was it I don't remember exactly, but
that's so far. I'll go.
No, you're right. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, immediately or shortly after that, he's hanging off the edge, asking about the information. And Kanji, one of the things he's like, he'll talk or whatever, because Mark's saying he's just a kid or whatever, and which was kind of a similar sentiment that Steven had when he was talking with
Harrow.
Harrow, right, about not killing kids. And unfortunately, this particular kid winds up saying "praise on it" and cuts the scarf and falls to his death. And that sucked. At this point, this is where I think even Steven and Mark are questioning each other, because one of them thinks the other one is the one that's actually doing all this killing, when in fact, because up until that point, I think we're led to believe that Mark is the one that's actually killing people.
And he's just playing it off like, oh, it's not me. But yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it's definitely not Mark.
Right. We get a great line.
There's no way.
Here from Steven referring to I can't think of his name all of a sudden, Khonshu, as a stupid pigeon.
Oh, that was funny.
And
stupid
Khonshu,
pigeon.
Yeah, Khonshu, and maybe worth noting, it's not necessarily spelled out, but even though Mark can only hear Khonshu, Mark can also only hear Steven, and not vice versa. Like Khonshu can't hear Steven, right? Not Steven Wright, but
yeah, he can only hear Steven when Steven's got the body. I think that's
right. Khonshu and Steven aren't able to communicate in this particular scenario.
So interesting.
Yeah, it gets a little starts getting a little confusing, maybe. But Khonshu does make a comment then about the healing armor that he basically needs, that Mark needs, that he wouldn't be able to provide without the suit, right? I guess.
Right.
And so what he decides to do at this point is cause an eclipse of the sun.
And why does he do that?
He's doing that to actually, he's doing that to thwart Harrow. I know that, right?
Yeah, kind of. It's more to like put Harrow on trial, like trying to put him on trial. But
so
it also brought, basically it was Khonshu's way of, he said it was a bad idea, but it was a good idea because it summoned the gods, the Egyptian gods, not all the gods, just the Egyptian gods.
Right.
Make that clear.
Yes, we're not talking about any Asgardian gods.
No, Thor's not in this one.
Right.
Of course, he's back there, but he's definitely not in.
He is in this one. Then. No, but
he's always in this one.
we get a quick glimpse of back to the dig site, or the actually, is it the pyramid that or the tomb, back at the tomb, and we get Harrow. He notices the eclipse, and he's talking about how desperate Khonshu must be to cause that, and he's yelling at the people to keep digging. And then back wherever they are at this point, actually, does he transport? Like, how did they get? Because a portal opens, right?
So he says when the portal opened for all the avatars, doesn't matter where they are in the world, it'll just basically open up for them, and they get teleported to inside the pyramid of Giza.
And right off the bat, So we get Steven, of course, his reflective surfaces as soon as he walks through this thing. And when it says a portal, it's not like a Doctor Strange portal. It's just like a stone.
It's just like a door.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
a door that opens.
Door opens up in a kind of a cool way. And right away in there we get, of course, reflective surfaces. So Steven is able to communicate with him in there. And of course he's freaking out because he can tell it's a Great Pyramid of Giza right away.
Freaking out, man.
Him being a, expert on the matters. And we are open in inside the pyramid. It's the first people, presumably, that have been inside. And there's a bunch of people in there. He's first greeted by a woman in a red dress, who's, I guess, named Yatzel, who is...
Yeah, I'm not going to try to say it.
Who's an avatar of, I think I got it, Hathor, or something like that.
Hathor.
Thor?
Hathor.
Thor.
It should sound like it's like a god of music or something. Right? Was it god of music? I don't remember. I don't remember that one.
Avatar. Oh yeah, okay, you're right. Hathor. I was close.
Haha.
I was a letter off. But
it's like their version of Thor, but with an HA.
Oh, interesting. Hustle. Maybe she shows
and
up in God. What is it called? Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder, which will come out, I think, a month or two after Doctor Strange.
Really? Oh, that's
literally gonna have to buy tickets like right away after to get the
porthole. That's funny. Tony always says that.
Porthole.
We see the what does he say here about an eclipse? They caused an eclipse that wasn't predicted to happen. Did this cause sudden tsunamis? Would have it? Okay, Herschel.
It probably. I mean, if you really want to get down to nitty gritty, it probably did chaos. I mean, there's also a half of a celestial hanging out of the Indian Ocean, so that's probably got to mess up with something in the climate.
Yeah, for sure. You have to leave your. What's the phrase? Leave your what at the door?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying.
Going with that one.
So
nope.
There's like a sudden conjuring of sorts, and they go, as I put here, full Undertaker, where we see the whites of their eyes, or glowing. I guess they're maybe glowing a certain color or something, and
they're glowing.
We then get a conversation between all these other avatars in this pyramid and Khonshu through the avatar of Mark, which is we haven't seen this specific method before, where he's being forced to talk. We see Mark talking in a very
robotic way.
Yeah, but very like harsh way as well.
Hey, you look like it was painful to talk in a way.
Yes, he did, and we see he's got like veins coming up his neck and everything as he's doing this.
I was like, man, this guy does not look like he's enjoying talking.
No. But then eventually, after all this conversing, we get Khonshu through Mark calls for judgment against Arthur Harrow. And we get Harrow suddenly shows up, walks through, and he's there now.
One of those portals.
Right. Which we don't get to see. I don't think we get to see his side of his perspective. We just see him.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw the perspective of Avatar's side, so it's like, why would you need to see it again? You know, because he already called it out when he was on the sand out digging. He's like, hey, keep digging. I'm going to be called soon, so I'm going to be like, I have to leave.
Suspending disbelief. Thank you, Herschel. That's the phrase I was going for. So, yeah, although this kind of makes me wonder, with everything that gets left on the cutting room floor, like maybe they did have another scene in there where that happens, but wouldn't surprise me the amount that ends up getting cut out. TV might be a little different than movies, but anyway. Anyway, um, so Harrow's accusing Khonshu or Mark of being unwell. One of them. Mark, I guess.
Well, I think he kind of yeah, he is accusing Mark of being unwell, but I think he was also making his argument that Khonshu took over someone that was already unwell and
Hmm.
being able to manipulate Mark and Steven.
Yeah. Khonshu gets pissed off, tries to punch Harrow, and immediately the other avatars or gods. I guess I keep calling them avatars, but it's really the gods, I guess.
Yeah, there's yeah.
They immediately stop that through whatever magical energy and
He like binds him or something. It looks like he's
yeah.
like half handcuffing him or something.
Yep, they bind him for a hot second and then they want to speak with Mark, so they release it. They release him and now they're talking with Mark and not Khonshu.
Hmm.
And he agrees that he is unwell, but also that he feels Harrow is dangerous. But they had heard enough. They made their decision that
It's just weird how they just kind of threw it off. Like,
yeah,
yeah, well, we that's it. We're good. Wait, what?
that's their
Okay,
judgment. Their judgment is that they're
guess.
not doing anything really. I think they're not. They're not like condemning um, Harrow or Amit, I guess.
Damn Egyptian gods.
Yeah. But yeah, so the one thing you picked up on that I didn't until you said it was that Harrow was apparently walking with glass in his shoes,
Oh,
or you can hear.
I think he does all the time. Yeah, you can. If you listen when you're in a hero scene, you can always hear
Well, I'm
that
glad you
glass
said
in
that
there.
because I don't think I put together that that was him at the beginning of the very first episode.
Yeah,
I was
that
still
definitely is.
I for some reason was thinking that was I don't know why. I was thinking that was Steven the whole time or something.
Oh, no, no, no. That was all Harrow right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's
what
just
is
been
it though?
walking every time he walks. I don't know why he walks in glass. I don't if it's redemption or something or
Yeah, or is it
like
a
uh penance.
I'm
No,
sure there was
because he
if
did say he did bad stuff with Khonshu
yeah,
when he was Khonshu's avatar. So maybe that has something to do with it.
I have a feeling there's
And maybe that's why he's Amit's like I think he's Amit's avatar right now, but
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, I think Amit re- said, "Hey, you can be my avatar, but you got to do some pretty. You got to get me out of here,
you
kind of
could be
thing.
my
I'll
avatar
redeem.
any day.
I'll give you redemption."
Yeah, I have a feeling the glass is supposed to have some other meaning too in Egyptian
I I don't know
mythology,
why
but
anyone would want to walk on glass all day. Like,
yeah, I just don't think it's
jeez,
something you want.
you know?
But yeah, obviously, I made a comment about how Steven didn't have how his feet were untouched in that first episode too. Like, we don't notice any damage. Of course, we don't see any damage from Harrow either. But I guess he's
Mm.
had his shoes on so far the whole time. But
I mean, you would think there'd be blood kind of always trailing by his shoes. Never see that.
I was gonna
Of
say
course, we don't really see his feet anytime, or really that much.
I wouldn't doubt if we get some explanation from Herschel here soon, but we'll see. But
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, for sure. So they're walking out. We can hear the glass and issues as he's walking back, but this Yatzel takes Mark aside once all the other avatars have departed, and informs him that Amit is actually secretly buried in Senfu's tomb. It's another god, I guess.
No, that's not no no
It's
that's
not a god.
a magi. It's like a
Oh,
guard,
okay,
like an Egyptian guard of some sort.
okay.
And he was the one that secretly, yeah, he hid Amit. buried on it. So the gods or kings or whatever, people, followers, wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, duh, because there's a tomb. I mean, yeah, presumably would be a man, I suppose, or a person, a human. So then we are taken to a town where or no, yeah, what is it? What is it in town? We got Mark asking somebody in town about Senfu's sarcophagus, and Layla shows up with a big gulp. I had to make note of that.
Was it a big gulp?
I mean, it was a drink of some kind.
It was a drink in a plastic bag.
Was it in a plastic bag?
Yeah, it was. It was just in a plastic bag with a straw, and she's like just grasping the end of the bag, so it's just falling into the
not
straw.
a paper bag though.
Weird. No, it's just plastic bag.
It's not booze or something. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know what is in there, but hey.
So I don't think the first guy he tried to talk to, I don't think he got much information out of. But she shows up and they talk for a little bit.
Didn't she it seemed like he ran away when he saw her. I was like, wait, what? No, I had that vendor guy just run away.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did run away. I didn't know that.
He kind of booked it quick.
That's interesting. Yeah, see, I didn't pick up on that necessarily, but scared him off, I guess. As near as I can tell, you guys nailed it. It's him showing faith and devotion as a penance for past deeds. Okay, thank you. The glass, I just thought maybe like the glass represented something in Egyptian.
It just means it's gonna hurt to walk around.
It does mean that. I'm certain that's the case. Yes.
It means also your feet are gonna bleed all day.
Thank you for looking, Herschel. So it does mean that, but we are shortly thereafter. We see them on a boat, and
I'm on a boat.
We get a quote unquote apology from Mark, and then an actual, like, after talking, an actual apology for everything that's been, whether or not he's really lied, or because it's not really necessarily his fault, any of the things that have transpired. But they share a little bit of an intimate moment, though, holding hands, which is kind of weird because I think Mark was the one that wanted to get divorced or something, but I guess
I think it was more of like protection. That's why he wanted to divorce her.
Yeah. True.
I don't think he actually wanted to divorce her. I'd be like, you're an idiot.
But they're supposedly still married anyway, so it makes sense. That's the first time we really see them get, I think, that close, really. And
yep.
He says, for what it's worth, he had it pretty under control until recently, when we don't really know like how long Steven has really been sort of in his life, but yeah, apparently it's now.
I think we'll find that out soon.
Not that Steven is really the issue. I mean, I think the suit, the whole, well, Khonshu, I think, is maybe certainly the bigger issue, but before they depart off of this boat, they talk about getting their story straight, and that they're coming up to a shore there where there's some kind of, at first it looks like it's some kind of festival or something that's going on. We don't really know exactly what this is, but there's a bunch of guns there. She talks about how his name for this is going to be Rufino Estrada. That's the name he's going by. For whatever reason. What was that?
A really interesting name. That was a really interesting name to pick.
It is, and I did point out how that Oscar Isaac's real last name actually is Estrada as well, which I don't know if that was or anything to that, but
I didn't notice that. That could be.
As they're on shore, as they're getting on shore, or shortly after being on shore, they notice another raft that's coming up, motorized raft with some guys in it. So I guess they're. Actually, don't know at that point if they explain who those.
I think those are I think they're just Harold goons, kind of watching
Yeah,
them.
that's right.
I think
Okay.
that's because that, yeah. So I think that's what because they're just kind of everywhere. It's like, oh, look at there's more of them. We're just watching them.
Right, and then they talk about how they had their honeymoon in the Maldives. That was like part of their story, I guess. But there's an interesting dance with horses and poles that's
I was
going
really
on.
confused on this one. I don't know. Maybe it's like an Egyptian thing.
Yeah, I would imagine an
I
Egyptian
don't know.
tradition of some kind, or sport of some
I
kind.
thought they were gonna do some what is that called? Uh, medieval, where you take two horses.
Jousting.
Yeah, there it is.
That one I remember. But so they start approaching this whatever it is sport, and she's approached by this guy named Beck, which was just Beck, not like the singer, composer, artist guy. Uh, but he seems to know her from whenever, and quickly he very quickly, and I would not have got this. Once again, you're really good at this, Mike. He makes
What?
a quick mention of Magipore. Is that how you say that?
Oh yeah,
Which we
Magipore.
which we did see in Hawkeye, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We had, of course, yet another, what do we call it, fictitious city that, well, it is just a city, right?
Yeah,
Kind of like a Vegas or Reno, sort of with like
kind of. It's
bigger.
like in the MCU, it's like the crime city. It's the city where all you can just get away with whatever.
Right.
Kind
Right.
of, you could, I guess, maybe you could equate it to Gotham in a way. Maybe.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Go-
Did we get
Gotham's pretty crazy.
any idea where, like, what country that's in or anything?
Madripoor, that's supposed to be like in Asia somewhere.
Okay.
That's where it's
Gotcha.
located. Wouldn't know where exactly they try to say it's located. Probably like some random little island out in the Pacific somewhere.
Gotcha. Adam Warlock was allowed fake Infinity Gauntlet Saga. Yeah, yeah, for sure. What'd you say about Engelbert Humperdinck's Lonely Man with Love is the first episode? Okay, sure. One of your Starman. Yeah, can't play that on here. Sorry, AP Dubs. So they meet with, I should say, Beck shows them the way to a man in a red robe, another red piece of
Red reference.
yes, another red
Chaos.
reference. Chaos,
Chaos.
the Scarlet Witch, maybe.
WandaVision. Multiverse of Madness. It's
Coming up
gonna be
soon.
chaotic. Gonna be chaotic.
So I guess this guy's name
Lots
is
and lots of chaos. Sorry.
Anton Mogart.
Mogart.
Mogart, and
Mogart.
you can tell he's a skis like right off the bat. But he
You just
approaches
tell.
them,
You just know.
and again, she knows him, right?
Some
Layla.
way. I
Yeah,
don't know how, but they somehow know each other.
they're acquainted,
Layla's
and
got some backstory to her we haven't heard yet.
so he right away wants to ask Mark some questions, but Mark's just basically, can I just see it? Can I just see the tomb or sarcophagus? I guess, yeah. Which I always think, for some reason, I always had in my head a sarcophagus was. And I think we talked about this maybe on the first episode. I always thought it was like a coffin, but it's that little pyramid thing, right? And I should have known this from the computer game The Dig, which I played on stream before, and because in that game we basically get a similar kind of thing, a sarcophagus of some alien in that, but
Hmm.
I believe, because in this case it is actually in kind of a small pyramid, right? And
Right.
thereafter we see these student locked in text or whatever. I think it was a German word they used maybe there for some reason, but
Oh, how did you even know how to spell that?
it was a quick subtitle, but I think I might have gotten it right. But
Oh, thank God for subtitles, right?
right, exactly. So a stone coffin typically adorned with a sculpture or inscription and associated with the ancient civilizations of
Justice
Egypt,
for
Rome,
Adam.
and Greece. A stone coffin? Okay. Am I wrong then? Anyway, it is under a little pyramid, but yeah, so maybe that is the
I
sarcophagus is the
I thought it
actual
was just like they were mimicking the Louvre or something.
Sure, why not? So yeah, he wants. I'm trying to remember now if he did Mark actually. I don't think Mark certainly doesn't want Steven to take over, but he's trying to get Steven to actually help decipher these things.
Right. Yep.
And he does tell him to fold some of these pieces of cloth in a certain way initially. But we get back right away, pointing his gun right at Mark, and then Mark's immediate reaction is to grab the gun and point at them, and then there's two guns pointed at Layla, so he's like, shoot. Well, he doesn't say, he says shit, but
You can't say shit.
he guess we can say shit. I mean,
Okay.
I can say it in this show, so yeah.
Just say it the way they say it then.
Yes. And it just reminds me of the South Park episode where they had all those when they first could say that, they just piled it on way back when. But
Trying to bleeping.
yeah, the so he gives the gun back right away. Leo's like, Mark, don't. So he gives the gun back right away, and then this Anton guy is not too happy at first. I knew he couldn't trust you, sort of a thing, and then he says to look in the. Does he say he says to look in the sarcophagus for some reason at this point?
Well, did he say look in the? Oh yeah. Well,
I thought that's what he was saying. I was a little. That's part I got a little confused about because ultimately he's trying to show him that Harold's goons are there or whatever, right?
right.
And
Yeah, because he can maybe he can sense it. I don't know.
yeah, or maybe he could just
Sure.
maybe he was just telling him to look over there or something. Essential. And then he sees that, and then we get Harrow walking up with his boys and the scarab naturally.
With his boys.
Actually, it looked like they almost looked like Secret Service guys or something. Because didn't they have almost like
Kind of.
earpieces?
I don't know if they had earpieces, but they just looked like government something douchebags.
Right. And Harrow makes mention of Layla's father's murder at this point, which we knew he died based on the woman that was talking of him earlier in the episode, but I don't think she mentioned that he was actually murdered, from what I recall.
Maybe it was Khonshu, but in when Harrow's the Avatar.
Oh, ooh.
And Harrow doesn't take blame. He says it's Khonshu that did it, but he took over me.
Hmm.
How about that?
I like it.
Throw that wrench in there.
I like the speculation. So Khonshu pretty quickly, tells Mark to summon the suit. But
Summon suit.
Trying to think even before stuff started going down, maybe at this point. Or I guess maybe things that had already started going down. But
well, it was he didn't show up until after Harrow was doing some weird stuff with the
Yeah,
coffin.
Hero's got his staff again, and it's glowing purple
Ooh,
and
pretty.
and what's his face again? Anton is like looking at it like, oh boy, what's happening here? Because he's telling about how if you want if you want to see what the actual magic from the gods looks like or something along those lines, and then we start seeing this purple mist start coming straight from the sarcophagus, and suddenly we get moon type, yeah,
Moon type.
moon knight
Moon
on
type.
top of the pyramid portion of this. So that happened pretty quick. He swoops down from it and kicks a guy immediately, and pretty much right away, because people are shooting guns. People are shooting guns directly at him, or they're because Layla's in the line of fire. Were they purposely trying to shoot her?
Maybe, but he ran up and like kind of hugged her around
Yeah, he
his
gave her
cape.
like a big
Cape kind of
hug
absorbed everything.
with his cape, and all the bullets just kind of stuck in his suit, and then he just throws them back at him, which was great, and presumably killing them all.
Yeah, maybe.
Several of them at this point.
Or wounding them.
Yes. So she runs back into the sarcophagus, or by the sarcophagus, and grabs all the little cloths with the text on them, and we get a pretty awesome action sequence from Moon Knight right away at that point where he's kicking, he's jumping in there, he's doing acrobatics, he's having a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, he doing great. Good job.
We get to see some fighting skills from Layla as well by the sarcophagus area, and I think that was that Beck again. She was fighting at this point.
Yeah, Yeah, it was Beck.
Beck again,
Fighting
and
her home buddy.
right. And for whatever reason, we get a transformation into Mr. Knight here.
Yeah, Steven was like, stop it. Like, I don't think he liked all the violence. He was trying to stop the violence.
Right.
So that's why he all of a sudden just took over, and then Mr. Knight came out, and then Mr. Knight got impaled a few times.
Yeah,
and
that
then,
was
and then
intense.
Yeah, and then Moon Knight all of a sudden, had to take back over.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. He was first I put down stabbed, and then I was like, yeah, no, that's not the right word here. He's got a bunch of
he got impaled.
Giant javelins hanging out of him.
He's had several different ways he was just getting stabbed from.
It's like a scene out of Game of Thrones or something here. But
yeah, well, there's no blood, so I guess they got away with it. Plus, he walked away with not even a scar on him, so there's that.
Yeah, that's true. The suit, I guess that
it's almost like the suit's like once it stabs him, it just like turns it into a portal or something.
Well, it
comes out the other way.
I guess it was good that Khonshu mentioned earlier his healing armor, which makes a lot more sense now because he's kind of like Wolverine, I guess. Maybe.
Pretty much. But what if he doesn't have a suit on and he gets stabbed? Is he still Wolverine?
Yeah, probably not. I'm guessing. It was lucky that he was in one of the suits at least when it happened. But so we see Layla back at the sarcophagus. Layla takes her necklace piece she's wearing, which looks very much like a similar moon icon as Moon Knight and as Khonshu, I guess. And she's got two pieces to that, kind of similar to the two pieces on Moon Knight's chest. Takes them and proceeds to pin down back to the sarcophagus. And so he's, I guess, immobile at this point. She can run off.
He's immobile. I mean, I thought she was going to kill him.
Yeah,
He had
she
empathy for him or something.
maybe shows us, she's not. She also has a softer side, doesn't necessarily want to kill people,
Right.
but she proceeds to shoot a guy off of a horse, which I guess is maybe not so much. And
So
that
it's good.
guy falls off. And we also see the mask, for whatever reason, it vanishes off at that point. I don't quite know what was going on there, why the mask was coming off and then going back on.
I think he was just worried. Maybe he has the control to take the mask off.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Mark has better control of how to work with the suit than Steven does, for sure.
Sounds like kind of maybe a movie magic thing, just to convey emotion, more or
Yeah, that
less.
too. Because he
But
can't. Yeah, I can see that.
which makes me feel kind of bad for like Pedro Pascal and the Mandalorian, like for the vast majority
Well,
of it, didn't have any of
I
that.
mean, that's
But,
why he had to take his helmet off at some points to actually show the emotion.
right, and then Book of Boba Fett comes around and he's got his helmet off like most of the time in that one. He wants to show his face off. Kind of, yeah, interesting. Because yeah, Boba Fett before that was like all about leaving it on, but
I don't believe in it now.
no. So all these javelins or whatever they may be, that were stuck in him, he ends up killing a bunch of guys with, throwing them, chucking them back at him, and winds up saving Layla from, I don't know, more of these guys, I guess. And then they ride off into the sunset. No, there's more.
Doesn't he kill the guy? He throws one of his moon dagger thingies at the dude that riding away on the horse,
Okay.
with the red.
It's his,
Yeah,
his finishing move with the moons.
kind of. Yeah, and the guy. I'm assuming the guy died. The character died since the actual actor died, unfortunately.
Ah, yes,
So,
as we find out at the end of this. Yeah.
but yeah. So, what do they? Yeah, then they go. Then they start riding back in Layla's car or something, right?
Yeah, or whomever's vehicle this is, we see them driving then next in the nighttime in the desert, and I don't know if it's the desert at first. Eventually we see, well, okay, so before we hear someone spotting them in the darkness, we have they're having a conversation in the vehicle. Mark changing his shirt into something that I think he thought looked kind of different. I don't know what kind of shirt it was. If it was, I guess it's maybe some kind of an Egyptian.
Oh, that was his jacket I was talking about. Not sure jacket when he got out later on. His jacket looked weird. He was wearing like I don't know, like a squirrel suit or something.
Okay. But she makes a comment about, how she wonders if she's ever really known him at all, and he kind of confirms with her, like, you don't.
She also asked about like why Harrow brought up her father and how he knows about it, but he's like, I don't know anything about that. So there was also that. I think he knows something, but maybe he can't say. I don't know. We'll see.
We will see. Yeah, so kind of that particular scene kind of ends on him saying, you don't know anything about me, really. And so we're in the desert at this point, and I believe we heard someone say they spotted the vehicle, like it's just driving in the dark through the desert, and someone has spotted them at this point. And
they're just watching them everywhere. They're basically everywhere, it seems.
They get to some point, some spot here. I don't know where do they wind up exactly? Is this a specific location where they decide to try taping the pieces of cloth together, or are they just trying to get out to the middle of nowhere?
I think they wanted to get out in the middle of nowhere so they could stop being chased.
Yeah, that's fair. So they're trying to tape together these pieces of cloth to decipher things, and they aren't able to put any whole constellations together by themselves. So Layla thinks that they need Steven for this. And he gets pretty ticked and rips the rearview mirror off of the vehicle, which Layla didn't seem too upset about. Maybe it's a rental or something. But I guess it would would have to be. Although I'd still be ticked off if that happened. But so he's taking the pieces. He walks a little bit away from the vehicle and tells, "All right, Steven's in. Steven can take over." And within seconds, has this thing taped up into a star pattern and holds it. He makes a comment about au revoir or something, and
because they both can speak French.
Or voila, or so voila would be make more sense. And anyways, it's French. Like I know she's like her favorite language or whatever. But they hold it up to the lights of the vehicle and can see some constellations shining through pretty quickly. And Steven knows right away, like, that doesn't necessarily mean anything because this was 2,000 years ago, and the sky would have been in a much different position at that point, and they needed to know what the sky looked like that very day. So Khonshu, who's up at the top of this hill, makes a comment about how he remembers it. He remembers every night, I guess, which he says in kind of a regretful
sad way.
Yeah.
Maybe him and what's the other the other god they're trying to get
Amit.
Maybe Amit and Khonshu have like a history, like a over his quarrel kind of thing.
I think that's safe to say, for sure. So then they, Layla and Mark, then join Khonshu at the top of this sand dune or whatever it may be, and this is kind of, maybe Herschel kind of predicted this, I think, in the chat a little bit, but he actually does start turning the sky back. He gets, he tells Mark to do what he does, and they both put their hands in the air and start moving it like it's a big. It kind of reminds me of like
It reminded me of like when you're in school and you had the actual globe and you could just spin it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I remind of. Like, but just inverted. You're spinning the sky now.
Or whatever Superman that was, where he spins the world. Kind of reminded me.
Oh yep.
Very specifically, it reminded me. There's an age in the game Myst 5 where you wind up, I don't know if it's spoilery or not, but doing something similar, I'll say, with the sky, which is kind of cool. It's a cool scene because they start off kind of slow and then they go faster and faster and faster, and
takes a while. 2,000 years. You gotta get back to.
2,000 years. And
do you think doing that messed anything up with the? I mean, since they are going in the multiverse kind of theme in the MCU now, you think that's you think they messed up something?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, and yeah, Herschel's right there, of course, to point this stuff out. But yeah, I think there's going to be some implications for sure.
And that's why Khonshu probably is why he's going to get judged, or well, not judged, punished.
Right.
I'd say punished more than judged, because that has to be like kind of like same like when Doctor Strange like did all that like time manipulation. They said, or Mordo said, that the bill comes due, so it's kind of the same thing. Like do something that's going to manipulate time and space and universe, you're going to get something that's going to bite you back in the ass.
That's fair. And
in this case, it's going to be Amit with her big crocodile face.
That's right, because we don't really. There was comments about Amit being a crocodile, but I don't feel like we've seen a lot of Amit.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
I think it's safe to say we will at some point, though. Mark makes a comment as the spinning is going on about how it's surprisingly painful. And it starts going really fast. Pretty cool effect we're seeing, and maybe worth noting. So one of the other videos, again, the same video I guess we watched after this was he makes he starts theorizing about all the things about Thanos and all the other people outside of this that would have gone back to possibly being alive again. And so that,
yeah,
I guess I'm a little bit confused. So it's everything but Earth, like everything outside of Earth, because we're seeing people like look up at this happening. So clearly it's still like the present time on Earth,
so
right?
Earth was stuck in the present, but everything else moved in back 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, I guess. We'll find out a little bit more, I think, on the next episode. But
that could really mess up the cosmic scale out there.
We do then see back at the pyramid, we're seeing I think 5 of the avatars in the shape of a pentagon around some kind of short pillar with this figurine on it, and slowly after that, Khonshu just basically starts disintegrating. So
Yeah,
at first, or at least that's what it looks like. Oh, disintegrate would be accurate, but then reintegrated. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, they basically did what they told him they were going to do. If he kind of messed up again, is turn him into stone.
Right.
Which, yeah, he turned into a nice little stone figurine.
Yeah, a tiny little figure on top of this little pedestal. Reintegrated almost like Star Trek in a way. Just went through a transporter kind of, but then, yeah, it turned to stone, like you said.
That sucks that you're trapped in, you got this big figure, and then you're trapped in this little stone body.
Right.
That's gotta suck.
And now they say he's now tied to this pyramid, the avatars, or the other gods have said. And Harrow is there. He asks, can he hear us, or can he hear me? And they say, we think so. So he starts, of course, after this other avatar walks away, he starts talking directly to Khonshu, the little, when I say figure, yeah, like I said, stone figurine, not like an action figure, but and Harrow talks about how when he was Khonshu's avatar, he actually enjoyed carrying out the pain to others, and then he grabs, he's got it in this figure in his hand at this point, and how his torment forged him, and that he owes his victory to Khonshu, which I thought was.
He's just Harrow's taunting him. That's all he was, because he's like, you're basically, you're in a little jar now, big man. You can't do shit. So
Right.
I'm just gonna taunt you and taunt you and taunt you, and you're gonna just take it, and you can't do anything about it.
Yep, that sounds about right. As much as he might have a facade, but
I think we're gonna see a flashback of Harrow with Khonshu or something.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that needs to happen.
Very possible. So as you mentioned earlier, we did get a post credits in memoriam of Gaspard Ulliel, who's a French actor who, I guess it's like we were talking about so many. It sounded like it was a skiing accident, but he was one of the antagonists in this particular episode, the red robe guy on the horse.
Yeah.
He unfortunately passed away, and that sucks. Sorry to hear about that.
Things
So,
happen. It sucks.
yeah. So what did Herschel say here? All kinds of stuff. I don't know. What's the James Cameron Titanic fiasco with Neil deGrasse Tyson? And is it like a physics thing? That's probably about right. I don't think they ripped off anything from Software though, or vice versa. I don't know, but everybody steals from everybody, I guess, a little bit. So let's see. I think we got a 4 points. Oh God. Well, I just gave away most of it. I did want to mention.
What did you do?
4.7 out of 5 for this one, which we just keep going up. So far, we got 4.4, 4.6, 4.7. Pretty good.
Yay.
Pretty good
Next
show.
Week, 4.8.
We might be a little biased, but yeah, I did give this one a 4.8, and you went 4.6 for this one, so pretty good. It's a pretty good show. So far, so good. Really no complaints. Like, the acting's great, the action's great, the comedy's great. Like, great.
I'm impressed with Oscar Isaac being able to play 2 different characters.
Really is,
well,
because
technically it's probably 3. He's going to be a 3rd one probably coming out soon.
Yeah, they did. Well, that might have been hinted at a little bit, yeah, so far, but we shall see.
I think there's a 3rd.
And in the
comics, there's a 3rd.
Right.
It's probably.
Yeah.
And we have 3 more episodes, so yeah.
Wow, already halfway through. Holy cow.
Think about it. The week that episode 6 happens is the same week that Doctor Strange comes out. So.
Whoa, jeebus.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yep. It's going to be a fun time. Good times.
Indeed.
It's going to be a good Marvel year. Marvel movie and show year.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. Also, I think Star Wars is going to start producing a lot of interesting things coming down the line.
Absolutely. Looking forward to all of that. Well, thanks everyone for listening. If you want to write to us, the email address is disnerdsplus@gmail.com. Our website, which I still have to do something with. I keep saying this, but disnerdsplus.com. These are both spelled out Plus. Check that out. We're recording Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central for now. We'll see if Disney decides to change up their schedule again at some point, but twitch.tv/ShaveMadOx. You can find me at ShaveMadOx. You can find Mike at Cool as a Cucumber. And until next time, I had something else here I want to say. It was what's the Discover tagline? I was gonna say like discover more Disney Show Plus shows. Okay, great.
Man.
We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yeah. I was trying to think. I knew I was going to screw that up.
What did you screw up?
I was trying to think of whatever the Discover tagline was. Because it was...
I was yeah. No.
I still can't think of it now. Like, there's more to discover. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, to think of something better. Although it's kind of funny just trying to make up something on the fly. Well, I haven't gotten Disney Plus yet. I have dove into Moon Knight comics and have a good idea on the Blackouts. Oh, very nice. One of these days I'll have to actually like look into some comics.
Wow, they have an Alpine green for iPhones now?
Oh, yeah. It's their
When did that
gimmicky
happen?
mid-season.
Oh.
Within the last... Well, I think it was their last event, so that would have been, last month.
Oh, yeah, so it was recent.
Mm-hmm. Only read a handful, and they are dark and gritty as hell. Yeah, I would imagine. Nice. Yeah, another successful show in the books.
Yeah, we did it.
We sure did. We sure did.
I don't have to go. I have off tomorrow now, so
Nice.
took the whole day off, even though I'm just, going to the dentist at 1:30. I'm like, yeah. Well, actually, I did take just for that time, but my boss kind of just said, just your day off because you have
Nice.
unlimited PTO.
Very nice.
All right, I guess I'm just gonna take that.
Yeah. Can't complain about that. Well, yeah, because
Nope.
just cleaning, so I don't. No drilling or anything.
No, it's just cleaning.
Good,
Then
good.
the next thing, then it'll be. Then I gotta go get a consultation about some kind of Invisalign or something.
Oh, really? Well,
Yep.
as a customer, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that or if I would go back to traditional. I mean, I did both. When I was a kid, I did the braces route too. So, but
Yeah,
I mean, I
we'll
guess
see
it
what
did
they
a better
say.
job. It's better than where it was at least.
I don't want to really put braces on my teeth at my age.
Yeah, yeah, they have ones that are pretty hard to see, I think. But yeah, I get it. Totally get it. Okay, well, thanks, Mike. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah, thanks Herschel and
Sure.
AP Dubs for joining us, or anyone else that
Yeah.
was in here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
See you guys.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.